I have never had to pay a penny for Google AdWords. We'll be talking about 5 tips, massive tips for SEO. I have never had to pay a penny for Google AdWords. Nothing against if you do it. I just, let's be honest, we'd rather not have to pay anything for the business. Try and do everything for free. So, 5 tips. Tip number 1, reviews. Sounds quite simple, but so many photographers don't reach out and they don't push it enough. I've just hit 100 Google reviews. Now I know from my experience, if I'm looking for someone to come and do something in my house or wash my car, a gardener, the first thing I do is look at Google reviews. If that business only has 2 or 3 reviews compared to another business with 15 reviews, even if the one with 2 reviews has 5 stars, I'm going to look at the one with 15 reviews. So make sure you get them reviews in. Tip number 2, blogging. Blogging is so important. I've heard recently, influencers and content creators trying to say that blogging's dead. Load of fucking bollocks. It is not dead. If I didn't blog, I wouldn't get half the work I get. Don't listen to it. It's a load of crap. It does help. It always helps. Anything that you do on your website helps. So when you're blogging, for example, you're blogging someone's wedding, don't overdo it. You don't need to go crazy with it. Google knows if you sound like a robot. And if you're using too many keywords. So for example, if I was blogging, I don't know, let's just say Tom and Jade at so-and-so venue, you don't need to keep going every sentence saying that venue. I love this wedding of Tom and Jade at this venue. I like this venue because I've been this venue. You sound like an idiot. It don't sound real. You don't need to do that. You need to use the keyword that you're choosing to blog 2 or 3 times, no more than 300 words, and talk naturally. Google likes people talking naturally because people want to read something that sounds normal. People want to read a blog and they want to sound like they're talking to that person because they get to know you then. They can. I know if I go on a website, if it sounds like a robot. Keir Starmer, let's be honest, Keir Starmer's an absolute twat, and the way he talks like a robot, he talks like he's scripted. Talk from the heart, like as cheesy as it sounds, just be honest in that blog. And then people who don't like the sound of it, they're the people you don't want. Not being horrible, you don't want them bride and groom. So I mean, I'm not going to cut this out because I don't mind it, but you don't want the bride and grooms if they don't like you as a person. So everyone's a win-win. No one wastes anyone's time. So be yourself in the blog, talk normal, no more than 2 to 3 times using the keyword. Don't use too many pictures. Too many photographers use hundreds of photos, 20 to 30 photos from that wedding, and make sure they're web size files so your website doesn't slow down. That's massive. You don't want to go on the website. I've been done that as a potential client and taking too long to load. I click back. Got no time for that. Number 3 is keeping consistent with updating your Google listing. So when I say that, you want to basically, when you go on your Google business profile, little silly things like uploading new pictures, updating things going on with your business. So if you've got a new blog, for example, you can have an update on there and have a click me link so people go to that blog. If you've got new packages or new pricing update, it just shows that you're active you know, again, if I'm a customer and it looks like there's been no update for a year, you just assume that business is closed. So, you know, obviously keeping your hours updated when you're open, things like that. Google likes it, the customer likes it, everyone wins that way. Tip number 4 kind of relates to blogging, but that is creating pages of, for example, when I used to live in Essex, trying to keyword Essex wedding photographer is one of the hardest things, because Essex it's a big place, Essex, but Essex also comes under London photographers, Kent, loads of photographers trying to challenge for that first page for Essex wedding photographer. Don't worry about it. I think the highest I ever got was page 6. No one's going to go to page 6 to look for you. It sounds harsh saying it, but they're not. They're not going to get that far. They're going to find someone by page 3. Yeah, so don't worry about that. Keyword pages that describe your style. So try and stand out from the crowd. Try and use keywords that no one else is using. So, for example, if you type in on Google documentary wedding photographer, I come up on, I think, the first page. If you type in for Essex, if you type in natural wedding photographer Essex, I come up on the first page, because I want people that want that style finding me. I don't ever want people just finding me because I'm local, because then you get clients that don't want your style, or they get confused with that style. You want the client that knows when they go on Google, they're typing in, I want a traditional wedding photographer or alternative wedding photographer. You want to start honing in on that and not worrying about just Essex wedding photographer, Kent wedding photographer, Sussex wedding photographer, Hampshire wedding photographer, because everyone's trying to rank that. If you can rank it, amazing. I'm not saying don't try and rank for it, but it's very hard to use that one. So, you know, use more, think outside the box. Think write down keywords, what your style is, and just go from there and start experimenting. Just create pages and see what happens. So tip 5, sort of, you know, it comes off the blogging, pages created, Google reviews, everything. Use social media to your advantage. Social media is there for free. It's free. Instagram, you know, if you use X, I don't use X, but there's loads of platforms now. But every time I post a new blog, I post the link straight on my business page on Facebook, Instagram stories, anywhere I can. And at the end of the month, I'll go on my website and the chart of incoming traffic, and you'll see that blog, how many clicks it got, the difference if you don't post it everywhere. It's massive. Now, the people that are clicking that page, I'm not saying they're all brides or potential brides, grooms, but because Google can see there's movement and they think, oh, you know, this website is interesting, people are clicking on it, they then put you up more. You know, it's constant. Google's constantly looking at what's going on. So everything I've spoke about so far, blogging, updating your Google homepage, you keep doing stuff and Google goes, oh, this is fresh content, and they can see that your business is still open. You know, if you don't do any of that, you'll never get to the top. So yeah, you use free social media to your advantage. Post it everywhere. You know, article for everyone to read if anyone fancies a read. People share it. That could then potentially reach someone. You know, I don't rely on Facebook for work personally. Like when I first started, Facebook was brilliant. As soon as I got in, when you're cheap, you know, Facebook is a very, you know, for cheaper clients, but it's still a huge tool for other things like what I've just mentioned. So share it everywhere. People click on it. Google can then see it's interesting content. It boosts you up. So yeah, that's my top 5 tips for SEO. Have a look at, if you're just starting off in the industry, keep it basic, but just get a book and just start writing down keywords before you start just jumping into it and going all over the show. Just type keywords that is your style, that you that appeal to you, and then just start creating content, interesting content. Google wants interesting content. It wants relatable content. It wants content that doesn't sound like a robot. It wants people to click on that content and feel like they're talking to someone down the pub, or at a show, or wherever you go in your personal time. And the more you can talk about in your own language and not like a robot, that person can relate to you, and the longer they stay on that page, Google can then see the potential client is on that page longer. So then that boosts your presence up more, because they can see that people are really finding your content interesting in it, because how long they're on there for. Instead of being on there for 10 seconds and clicking back, they're on there for 5 minutes. So all of that all adds up. So yeah, give it a go. Comment in the comment section if you want to ask me any questions that I haven't covered. They're just the top 5 things that I concentrate on all the time. Just being consistent with really good writing in your blogging, short and sweet, don't overuse the keywords, constantly update Google business page, use social media to tell people of your new article, your new blog. If you've got 2,000 friends on Facebook, for example, you're obviously a popular person, use that to your advantage. Them 2,000 people might all be married. Don't be like, oh, they're all married. Don't have that attitude. Get it out to them. Let them click on your website, and then Google can be like, oh, loads of people are clicking on this page. They find it interesting. I'm going to boost it up for everyone else to see. Then it can get to a potential bride. So use that to your advantage. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you all soon. See you later.